guys, welcome to Coffee Hang. I just felt like it was right to start it with my legs kicked back. Hi, welcome. Happy Friday, new day. I told y'all it was coming. Told you in the last episode, warned ya. So if you're here on the day it releases, hi, cool. I am here today with my Just Love cold brew. Y'all, this is one of my favorites in Nashville. They have a few. I think Just Love might be in some other cities as well. Look it up. But their cold brew is made in-house. It's really sad when you go in and you're like, hey, can I have a cold brew? And they're like, I'm so sorry, we're out. And I'm like, me too? I want you to know, I started recording a completely different episode. And then it dawned on me. I want to do a story time episode. This weekend, Ev and I are coming up on a year since he proposed. And it's not going to be all mushy-gushy about how he proposed. I actually want to talk to y'all about the night we met and our first time like dating and some of my thoughts around some things, because I've got some stories. And this boy decided to not text me back for a few weeks, and we need to chat about it. In case this is like for the dating girlies, like I'm here with you. So let me take you back. October something. I say something because I think it was the 7th, but Evan and I decided to always celebrate the 1st of October. But anyways, October something. There was a gala that two of our friends, mutual friends, were hosting at a hotel here in town. And it was kind of like a connection thing. And I had just come from a horrible family weekend. I was like, get me out of here. I need time with my girls. And my girls and I had known we were going to this gala. It had been our plan for ever since we got invited. And so, we get looking really cute, feeling good. I got the leg out. I think I had this Nuuly dress on that like my leg was like, left leg was completely out. There was a slit. It was a whole thing. We get there and it's so beautiful. And all these people are like my age or a little older. And it truly is a connection event. And I am an introvert. I will not walk up and just start talking. That's just not me. And that's okay. I was like, okay, I gotta get ballsy here. And so I had my girls, you know how it is. Take you and your friends, that's like your crutches, We're chatting, we're having a good time. And I remember when I walked in, I noticed this guy, and I had always said that I wouldn't date musicians. Like that was kind of one of my quote unquote rules. But you know how it is, girls. It's like, it's more of my quote unquote temptations. I was like, I won't be with a musician, but if the right one comes along, like wink, wink, like it was one of those things. And I saw this guy as soon as we walked in, and I remember leaning over to one of my girls and was like, $20 he's in a band. Like, I bet he's in a band. He was in this like purple plum suit. His hair was all spiked up. Like he looked like the lead singer of Panic at the Disco. Like it was a whole thing. And the night goes on. We talked to a bunch of different people. It's been like almost 3 hours. It's getting towards the end. Like it's time for us to start exiting. And the guy in the purple suit starts walking towards me and my girls. And I'm someone who, when I'm in a room, I like read the room. I like know the energy. Like I'm that kind of person. And I happen to catch this man in the purple suit leaving this other guy and kind of like nodding towards our group. So I remember looking at one of our girls and be like, someone's coming over here. Before my husband, I hated getting hit on. So like, and I didn't get hit on that much, but I'm just saying anytime it happened, it was just like, no, don't do it kind of vibes. Like that was me. And so I remember watching it start to happen. And I didn't think he was coming to hit on us. I just knew he was coming towards us. And an introvert, you're like, someone's coming towards me. Run. No. And so I was like, okay, here we go. And he comes up and he's like, hi, I just wanted to say, hey, I hadn't talked to y'all this evening. How's it going? Like super chill and friendly. And I'm like, okay, he's not weird. And of course, all three of us are very confident and can like talk. So we were like, yeah, it's been such a fun night. Like, how's your night been? Like, and he goes on to just be like, where are you from? And are y'all, all the things, all the like questions you ask. And it was all like super friendly and fun. And all of a sudden I remember we're chatting and it's just me and the purple suit guy chatting. I don't remember my other two gals leaving. And I somehow was prompted to start by purple suit guy to start talking about music. And at the time, I was really into this one record that I had started listening to. It was Dermot Kennedy's latest record. Like, I felt like he was such a standout as an artist, and not a lot of people knew about him, all the things. It was my pick-me moment. No, I had just listened to the album like crazy, so it's kind of all I knew to talk about. And I think Purple Suit Guy had said he was in music and at this point in time. And I was like, oh, so you are in a band. I knew it. And he was like, oh, so you saw me. And I was like, yeah, I had made a bet with the girls that you were in a band. And he was like, well, I'm kind of in a band. He was like, I am a like audio engineer, producer, all the things. And so we ended up keep talking and all this. And Purple Suit Guy is like, hey, would you want to get coffee? And we can keep chatting about music. Something very chill. I was like, yeah, oh my gosh. Like, I was such in a like trance with this person. A trance? Yeah. I don't think I'd ever had this easy flowing of a conversation, but also this person just like knew himself and knew who he was. So like there was not any forcing of his energy. And so by the time I had like given him my number and he had walked out, I was like, wait, what's happened? Like, am I going on a date or is this like a business meeting? And I also knew that this person was a little bit older than me. And because he had dropped like when he had graduated college. And I was like, okay, he's like my brother's age. Cool. He's like 6-7 years older. Am I okay with this? I've never dated that old. That old, lol. And so I remember going home and my parent, I'm very close to my parents. I almost said they're my best friends, but in the sense of like, they're just really easy to talk to and I really trust them. So I remember going home and trying to be so nonchalant. My mom was like, how was it? And I was like, so like, I might have like a date. And she's like, big smile. She's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know. It could also be a business meeting. So I told my mom, and then dad was somewhere in earshot, so everyone knew. And the date was that was a Saturday night. The date was for the next Sunday. So not the next day, but a week and a day. And I think it was sometime in that week, like Tuesday or something like that, that Purple Suit Guy had texted me and been like, hey, you want to get coffee here at this time on Sunday? And I was like, yes, so great. But no text in between. Like, there's no chatting in between. And I was like, does he hate me? Is he going on other dates? Like, cool, that's fine. But I'm like, what's happening? And so we get to that Sunday. And I get to the coffee shop before him. And I actually see the guy that one of the co-leaders of the party, the one who invited me at the coffee shop. And I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually, I'm here on a date, like with someone I met at the gala. And he's like, really? And then the door opens and Purple Suit Guy walks in. It's Evan. And I remember in that moment, I'm going to cry. What? I was trying to make this funny. I remember when that door opened, like the way he looked at me. And I'm so sorry, y'all. The way he looked at me and just the kindness in his face. And he was so happy to be there. Like, I think back to that person, and I didn't know him yet, and the person I know now, and like, I still have that same kind, like that was my Evan right there. And I remember he walked in and I was talking to this other guy, and I remember thinking, oh gosh, I hope he doesn't think like I'm trying to like hit on this other guy or whatever. So anyways, he pops in line with me. I'm so sorry I'm crying. Ev wrote me a love song this morning, so like it's a little sappy in this household. But he walked in and we got in line and we got up to order, and I'm like, okay, we're on a coffee date. I'm gonna like iced Americano, you know. I think I got in a hot Americano because it was like October. It was somewhat coldish. And Evan ordered a hot cider. And I was like, what is this man doing? Also, it sounds great. And this is when I learned that this man doesn't drink coffee. And I'm like, why are we at a coffee shop? He was like, because I know you love coffee. So anyways, we go outside to sit down and we start chatting and it starts flowing. And he was asking me about like my weekend, and I was like, how's yours been? And he was like, well, I just rode 50 miles. And I was like, on a horse? He said, no. On a bike? To this day, he doesn't let me live that one down. I did not know anyone at the time rode bikes that far. Like bicycles, not like a motorbike, bicycles. I hadn't watched professional cycling, none of it. 2 years in, I know everything. I know all their names. Big Pogacar fan. So, completely different gal. But I remember we both just started dying out laughing. And laughter and comedy is such a pillar of our relationship. And it's so funny to look back on the first date and just like all the humor that was happening and just the carefreeness. But okay, first date happens, blah, blah, blah. We get to the end of the date. And I'm like, is he going to kiss me? Because you know how you're always asking yourself that? You're like, is he going to? Whether you're feeling it or not, you're just trying to like sense the vibe so you like know how to appropriately like act. I remember I just was so shy. I didn't know what was going to happen or what I wanted to happen. But I remember I was like, he was like, well, I'm going this way. And I needed to go across the street. So I was like, okay. And I remember like giving him a hug and like putting my face down this way. And to this day, I know he was like, Molly, I was not going to kiss you on the first date. And I was like, I know, but like, I also didn't know, and you just never know. So it made me nervous. Date ends. I go home. And it gets to that evening. It's been a few hours, and I'm like, should I like say anything? Like, I had so much fun, like would love to do that again, or like, whatever. And I'm talking about this with my parents. And my dad is like, I would appreciate that if like your mom said that to me. And I was like, okay, cool, noted. And mom's like, yeah, that might actually be really nice. Like my parents sitting here helping me with dating advice. I'm dead. But that's me. And so I was like, okay, fine. I will text him and say I had a good time and I would love to do that again. And now knowing Evan's side of that story, he was here because we're in our house now, but that at the time his house and his roommate, and they were in the living room, and he said that he was sitting there and he was like wondering like if I had a good time and if I wanted to go on another one. And he said when the text came through, he was like, he like said to his roommate like, oh man, like she did have a good time, like, and it just made him feel so good. So I say that to share the POV, the other side of sending that text, ladies. Maybe if you've had a good time, it is good to tell him. So yeah, we go on into the week, and I think we like end up setting up another date maybe that night over text, but I don't hear anything else from him. And it drove me up the wall. Absolutely. And my mother was laughing at me because she just thought that was the funniest thing, that it was just making me crazy. Even though like I knew date and time, like what was happening. And I just remember thinking, why is this boy not texting me? Like I want to talk. And because I'm used to just being a texter. I'm a texter gal. And so we get to the day of the date, and it was like that coming Thursday or something. And I remember being at work and I was like, ladies, do I text him? Do I not? Like, this is what happens in the workspace when you're dating someone. You're like, okay, we're taking a poll. And I was like, do I text him? Do I not? And they were like, you know what? Just text him. Just text him. It's fine. And so I remember texting him. It was around lunchtime, and I was like, hey, like, are we still on for tonight? I think it was the day of. And he was like, Molly, I was just about to text you. Which, knowing Evan now, like I know him and I know how like in he is with people, but how do I say this? He later explained like what he was doing that day. He was like, I was in a lunch meeting and I knew I wanted to text you right after. And anyways, it's just funny now looking back. But there's a whole reason I'm telling this, and I'll get to it. But he was like, yeah, like I can't wait to see you. Like it'll be so much fun. Blah blah blah. But more into the present, Evan and I had conversations about why he did that. Like why would you not text me and just go back and forth? And I remember him saying something, and it's meant the world to me ever since then. But it was like, he was like, I did not want to get to know you over text. Like I wanted to get to know you in person. And I had never thought about that because yeah, when you're talking to someone, like you text, like you keep up, whatever. And like after Ev and I got to dating more and more, like we were on the phone all the time, or we were texting all the time. I mean, he definitely started texting more because I would text and I loved texting him, but I had a job where I couldn't always like respond. So like during lunch, we would do a phone call or whatever. But I just remember thinking, okay, I actually really appreciate that he wanted to wait and get to know me in person. And I also know that's his personality too. He's someone who kind of focuses on what's happening like in the moment. And when you're with him, like you have him fully. So yeah, for my dating girlies. If the guy isn't texting you, that could be a reason. There could also be a lot of other reasons. But since we're coming up to the year anniversary of being proposed to, I don't think I've ever shared this, so this can be the other part of story time. My engagement date actually got ruined. So if this has happened to you, you're not alone. Here's how it went down. My mom and I get our nails done at the same place. You can probably already see the issue. And she shared, I guess when Evan had shared with them the date, she shared that with the nail technician that we shared. And when I was getting my nails done a few weeks before, because I knew it was going to be soon. Our 1 year anniversary was October 1st and it was September-ish. And I was like, okay, he'll either do it like right on the 1 year or around. So I'm like, I'm going to have the nails ready. Like, I'm that girl. And so I remember I was getting my nails done and he was like, your mom told me engagement photos, September 14th. And I was like, what? He had no idea. Like, no one is to blame here. I just want to say that. And my mom and I have like worked through it and all that. But in the moment, y'all, I'm one of those that was like, okay, do I just completely start crying right now? Or do I make sure that this other person doesn't feel bad? I chose the latter. And so I sat there and I was like, I had no idea. What do you mean? This is when I become my actress self. I was like, I didn't know anything. And he was like, he realized like what had happened. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay. All will be well. And I think I just blacked out until my nails were done. Yeah, so I knew my engagement date and I, people were like, do you tell Evan that you know? Do you not? I was like, Evan's my best friend. I'm not going to not tell him because when I feel something, like I fully feel it from my head to my toes. And so I was like, Ev will literally know that I am upset right now. Like, y'all crazy. And so I ended up telling Ev and it was a whole thing. And so no one confirmed it. And I was like, yep, that's when it's happening or whatever. And Evan asked, he's like, do you want me to change it if that is the day? And I remember just like, no, like, keep it how it is, whatever. Because I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't know how it's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen. And just the fact that Evan is proposing and is like it's my best friend. And I know it's just going to be the sweetest time. And in the moment, you think that it's just going to like ruin your memory of that. But I want y'all to know, I have not thought back to that my engagement was ruined at all. Like, even when Ed the other day reminded me, he was like, babe, like, it's coming up on a year on our engagement. That was never in any of my thoughts. Like, oh yeah, it did get ruined. So if that's happened to you recently, I'm so sorry. And I hope for you it's the same of like, actually what I remember is everything else. I will say I was one of those with my engagement that I was clear about what I wanted. I wanted to be celebrated, and there is no shame in admitting that, because I really love to celebrate other people, and I also want to be celebrated. So I just made sure, I was like, Ev, whenever you do it, like, just know that I would love a little party, because I just love all of our people and just want them all in the same room together. How the day went down is I did have a dress picked out. If you go and look at my engagement photos, the dress and the shoes were picked out. I had them ready, and I just told Evan to take them so that whenever the day did happen, I had my outfit ready. So that Saturday came around and Evan was like, be ready at this time and like, just be chill. Or he was like, be cute, chill. You know how boys are with their words when you're like, hey, what's the outfit vibes? And they're like, what? And I'm like, how cute do I need to look, And so anyways, I remember he picked me up and we went to one of our favorite places in downtown Franklin. I lived in Franklin, and that's where we met at the Harpeth Hotel. Our first date was at Onyx and Alabaster coffee shop. Like, our love story took place in Franklin, so our wedding was in Franklin. And that's why he took me back there. So what you're about to hear, like, that's why all these places make a lot of, mean a lot to us. And so I'm so sorry. I keep saying brunch. We went to lunch. It was at like 11 a.m. to Franklin Mercantile. It was one of our favorite places. I worked at Anthropologie in downtown Franklin at the time, and he would come have lunch with me sometimes. So that's where we would go. We both loved a sandwich and tomato basil soup from there. So that's what we got. And then we went to, I have the worst memory. Babe, I was just calling you. We're recording. And I'm telling about the day we got engaged.
Oh, boy.
And I can't remember what happened after Franklin Mercantile. Where did we go before we came here and got changed for dinner?
We went to the movie.
Straight to the movie? Did we get coffee or something?
I don't remember we went through the mall. We went to
Free People.
Yes.
Did I buy something?
Well, I'm sure you at least got coffee at the mall, and then we walked from there to the theater. I kind of took you to the mall first to surprise you, to throw you off the scent.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to keep telling this story, okay? I love you. So we went to Green Hills Mall, one of my favorites, and then Ev was trying to throw me off the scent. We went to Free People. I can't remember yes, I got a pair of pants. I got these babe, I got a pair of pants. I got these cutie pants that I call my engagement pants now, from Free People. Ev was really trying to throw me off the scent. Then we went to see a movie, and I was like, oh, like, we ended up inside the movie theater, all the things. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like, Ev and I love watching a movie together. I was like, I wonder what movie, like, it's got to be like a romantic one, or like maybe it's one of our favorites that they're like re-showing.
Hey, babe.
What was the movie called?
Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Thank you.
The most ironic engagement day movie ever. You couldn't remember to tell the viewers that you told me how badly you wanted to see that movie.
I love you so much. Thank you.
Once being an oblivious dude, then got engaged.
I loved it, babe. It's honestly part of the memories.
The choice is still very ironic.
It is. Thank you. The movie choice was Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I remember it starting, and I just love this boy so much. Like, I don't care. I also, like, I do love action films, but we joke to this day that, like, that choice for an engagement day is just hilarious. But it did kind of throw me off the scent. I was sitting there in the film like, okay, maybe I'm not getting engaged today. Maybe it is a different day. We go straight to dinner after that, and one of our favorite places, and have a really sweet dinner. And I'm like, nothing's happened. It's like 7:00. Hee hee. Like, that's me. And I'm like, I need to chill out. And so we go back to Evan's house, and I think that's when I put the dress and shoes on, maybe. And so I know it's coming, but I still don't know where or when or how. By the way, the shoes actually weren't here. They were somewhere else. Evan there was 2 bags, and he grabbed the other one. It was like a movie. And so his sweet best friend ran and got the shoes and brought them to the later. We went back to Franklin, and we pulled up at the Harpeth, and we got out, and I was like, I think I just gaslighted myself that it wasn't happening at this point, even though I had the dress on. Like, that's where I was in my head. And we had went through this weird side door. I'm like, we don't own this place. Like, what are we doing? And I think at this point I'm just like frustrated. I'm like, well, whatever. And so we get out into the courtyard at the steps, and there's no one out there. Out of the corner of my eye, I see someone with a camera. And I'm like, oh, hello. And as I'm seeing that, I see Ev get down on one knee. And I'm just a giddy girl. Like, who cares that it got ruined at this point in time? I'm like, here we go. And so anyways, we get engaged and then we kiss, whatever, take photos. And Ev's like, I want to show you something or something like that. And he pulls me inside the Harpeth, and we go towards the coffee shop in there. And I'm like, Ev, it's closed. Like, we can't go in there. Like, I'm a rule follower in that sense. And I was like, no, what are you doing? And he opens the door, and there's all of our friends and family. And so it was just a really, really sweet night. And then I put the right shoes on. If you see the photos, you know why it's the right shoes. And so, yeah, that is the story of our engagement and first date. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, I hope you liked this little story time episode. If you want to do more of these, I think that's really fun. So just let me know. Let me know how we like Fridays. Friday seems fun. That is all I have, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.